Hi Stampers, Jennifer Roque here at Stamp Camp with Jen at stampcampwithjen.com. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida. Today I am going to show you how to use washi tape to mask and make this beautiful card. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and we'll get started. This is going to be really quick and easy, and you're going to love this technique. I even added a little splattering to the background as well. So really what makes this card pop is you need a bunch of a variation of different stamps. So like big and small and different shapes are really what's going to make this background really beautiful. Okay, so first we're going to start with our different pieces of paper. I'm going to go through the different sizes with you, and I'll have them all in the bottom in the details section as well. So we're going to use a Night of Navy card base, and we're going to make it so it opens from the top instead of the side. Okay, so this is 4 1/4 by 11, and then as you can see in the original, we have a little bit of Melon Mambo in the background. So for that one, we have a 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch piece. Okay, so we're going to set those aside, and we're going to use our Whisper White base. So this size is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some washi tape. Make sure it's not really sticky, because when you go to peel it off at the end, you don't want to peel your paper up with it. So I just have some old washi tape. I don't even know where I got it from, honestly. It's probably old from Joann's or Michael's years and years ago, but it's not super sticky. So what you want to do is you want to mask off probably about 1.5 inches from the top. Try to make it as straight as possible. And then what I like to do when I tear off the side, I like to kind of tuck under before I press it down. That way you have a tail to pull off when you go to reveal at the end. So we'll do a little bit more. I'm going to overlap it just a bit because I don't want a huge opening for the sentiment. I just want enough to kind of give you that wow factor. So this is probably about 1.5 inches as well. So again, I'm going to make my tail and then stick it down. Okay. All right. So again, sticking with the color theme, we are going to use Melon Mambo for the flowers, and the flowers are from the Timeless Tulip stamp set. This was in the January through June mini catalog and has carried over to the annual catalog as well. I love tulips, so I was really happy that this stayed in the annual catalog because I use this set all the time. I love it. And then we are going to use Granny Apple Green for the leaves. Okay, so let's do our tulips first. So I'm going to start with the big one. I think it's easier, at least for me it is, to start with the bigger pieces and then kind of fill in with the smaller ones. So I'm going to grab a tulip here, and I like to do the top first, so kind of angle it a little bit, press down evenly to make sure that you're going to get that crease over your washi tape when you reveal it. You want to have that pretty smooth edge. So, and then this side I'm going to go down just a little bit. You want variation too. That's kind of what makes it so unique and fun. And then when I go to the bottom side, I'm going to kind of go in between and angle it again. And then I'm going to do one more kind of off to the side here. And right up there. Okay. Oh, and see, it didn't stamp all the way, but that's on my background piece, so it's not a big deal. But with these stamps too, because they're clear, if for some reason you don't stamp all the way, I actually had some in one that I messed up a little bit earlier. This one didn't stamp all the way, but because you can see through it, I was able to stamp it. And I think even this one too, I had like a big hole or something in the middle of it. So that's what's really great about these photopolymer stamps. All right, so now we're going to grab the little small rosebud here, and still using Melon Mambo, we're going to go in the middle and kind of just have him peeking up just a little bit. And then we're going to do a couple on the bottom. here. Again, even pressure so that you don't get those holes in the middle when you're stamping. And I'm gonna do just a teensy bit here. And then we're gonna clean this one off as well. And now we're done with the Melon Mambo. That's all we needed to do with Melon Mambo. So we can close him up. Remember, with these new pads, you just pull straight out and then you flip it over and make sure you close it. Okay. And now we're gonna grab our Granny Apple Green, grab the little lip, pull it straight up, push it in, okay? And we're gonna use, I'm using the leaf, not the one that curls, but the one that's a little straighter. And we're gonna use him and kind of vary our stamps as well. So this part is a little bit tricky, but really the tricky part is because we don't have a lot of room here where the washi tape is, you have to be really careful. Because of how long the leaf is, you could easily stamp where you don't want to. So my tip is, first of all, we're gonna do the big tulip. And the little tail is coming over the washi tape, so that's okay. We can press down evenly, but you'll see here in a second. So this part could easily get stamped onto that tulip. So what you wanna do is kind of rock it up just a little bit and just stamp the top piece. So it's only going to the top section where you want it to go. So we'll do that again here. And that's really the trickiest part about stamping with the green leaves. You have to just be really careful. Try to keep your hands out of the ink as much as you can. So that, see, I'm already getting ink on the edges, so I'm gonna clean it up so that I don't accidentally get it on my fingers and swipe and get some crazy color that I really don't want. So this one I'm gonna do this sideways to kind of go with the big tulip and just try to do the top part. And I'm gonna do it with the big tulip again here. Again, just trying to get that edge. See, I'm not getting the whole stamp there. And then, where are we going here? Oh, the little tulip here. I can kind of give him a little leaf. And then we can even use this other edge because we didn't use the ink there. And kind of get it up there. Okay, so now, this is another important step so you don't make a mess. Like I did. You can, as you can see by my hands, I have made a big mess while I was trying to make this card. So the important thing now is to take a piece of paper towel or a napkin and kind of wipe this excess ink as much as you can, being careful not to wipe it onto your paper. And see, I actually smudged a little bit, but that's okay. It's gonna get covered up with our splatters later. So I love splattering. If you haven't noticed by my previous projects, I use a lot of splattering. So, okay, so the big thing here, hold your card. I like to hold it kind of top and bottom, and then pull your tails. And be very careful when you pull it off of your paper, because if you do it too fast or you have paper, or I'm sorry, washi tape that's too sticky, it's gonna rip your paper when you pull it. So I like to try to do it really evenly. And you may notice too that I have some little pink dots. It seems that when you do it through this washi tape, and I don't know if it's just because the washi tape's old or what, but I have some little pink splatters. But again, that's not gonna matter, because when we go to do our blue splattering background and when we put our sentiment on, it's all gonna blend in together and it won't matter. And that's why also that little green that I have for my stamp doesn't matter either, because it's all gonna blend in the end. You'll see. Okay, so this is Night of Navy, and we're gonna use a sentiment from one of the newer cling sets, the Celebrate Sunflowers. We're gonna use the Thanks a Bunch. I think that's perfect with a bunch of flowers. It's very punny, I guess. So we're gonna take the Thanks a Bunch. I've already put it on a block. We're gonna ink it up in Night of Navy. Make sure it's in the right direction. It's not gonna be upside down. And try as best as you can to center it. Press evenly down, don't squish it around, and straight up. Perfect. Isn't that gorgeous? So now to do our splattering. I love it. So if you don't have re-inkers on hand, which I don't happen to, but you can always just use your stamp pad, and if you smush it down like that, you get ink on the top of your lid, and we're going to use that to do our splattering. So you are going to need a box to put your paper in so that you don't make a mess all over your craft room. Don't ask me how I know this, but I definitely made a mess in a previous video where I used shimmer paint and got it all over my craft room. So don't do what I did. Be smart, get a box. Okay, so now the trick with this is you need to squeeze so that you have some water coming out, and you want it pretty loose here, okay? And then the faster you flick, the smaller your little dots are gonna be. So you take your finger and you flick, 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 and it might not happen a lot at first, and that's okay. You'll probably, the water just needs to keep going down in your pen. You need to get a little bit more ink here, and you'll start to notice the more you do it, the more you get water and the more you get some ink here. See, maybe I need to squeeze it a bit, make it a little wetter, and tap, tap, tap. Look, beautiful little speckles of Night of Navy are going all over our background now. And the faster you do it, the more you're gonna get those small, beautiful little dots. If you do it really hard and slow, you're gonna get big dots. So we want the little speckles, so that's why we're moving fast and tapping really fast all over. And you just keep doing it until you get it exactly how you want. I like a lot of speckles, so I'm gonna keep doing it for a second. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna wipe my aqua painter off. And these are the old aqua painters, not the new water painters. I ordered those. I'm still waiting for those to come in, but I've heard they're pretty awesome because they have 3 different size tips in the package. So I think that's pretty cool. So this actually dries pretty quickly. As you can see, it's already pretty much dry. So gorgeous. So we're gonna take that down. And now the only thing left to do is assemble. So we are going to take our Night of Navy base and fold it in half. Let's set this aside for a second. I like to kind of fold it by hand and then use my bone folder for my crease. Okay, and then again, I'm still waiting on my Stampin' Seal to come in, but that's no problem. I still have snail adhesive left over. So we're gonna use snail real quick. I always do a little piece in the middle just to make sure there's no bubbles or anything. That's probably not necessary, but I like to do it. And then I always like to start at the corner to try to get it even. Perfect. And then we're gonna do it again. Always in the middle. And then always check that the card is opening in the right direction. I don't know how many times I've done it upside down and I'm just like kicking myself because I have to try to rip it off or do it all over again. So, all right, start in the corner. Make sure it's lined up where you want it to be. And voila, boys and girls. And that is our beautiful washi tape masking technique. I really hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, I hope that you'll hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget that if you use my June host code and you place at least a $75 order or more, you'll get a Simply Chamois this month. So be sure to check that out. And also, anybody that places an order of $250 or more gets an additional $25 in Stampin Rewards. So there's lots of great incentives, and I really appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you'll follow my blog, sign up for my newsletter, And until next time, I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.